Welcome back to the AI Daily Brief Headlines Edition, all the daily AI news you need in around 5 minutes. When people have explored why Elon Musk's xAI might be an interesting competitor in the LLM space, there's two things you tend to hear. The first is access to the unique data and distribution channel of Twitter/X. In other words, that Grok gets a source of information that no one else has, or at least no one else has easily, as well as a place to put it. And the other is the potential integrations with the other family of Elon projects. Chief among those has to, of course, be Tesla. A Tesla xAI tie-up seems like it's more than potential. The Wall Street Journal writes, Musk's xAI has discussed a deal for share of future Tesla revenue. Under a proposed arrangement, the startup would give Tesla access to its AI technology in exchange for a slice of the carmaker's software revenue. The deal is not particularly complicated, or at least there's not that much information yet. The information sums it up. The two companies have discussed Tesla licensing the startup's AI models to help the car maker develop its full self-driving software, and in return, Tesla would share some revenue with xAI. The driver assistance software aims to move Tesla's autonomous driving technology beyond highways onto city streets. Now, Musk, for his part, has of course responded on X, saying, haven't read the article, but the above is not accurate, referring to an X user summary of the Wall Street Journal piece. He added there's no need to license anything from xAI, and shortly after he posted, WSJ is talking nonsense. Regardless of the truth of this particular rumor, investors are for sure watching the relationship between these two companies closely. As the Journal puts it, Musk is already shifting talent and hardware between xAI and Tesla, raising concerns about potential conflicts of interest. There is particular scrutiny around how Musk shares resources of Tesla, which is publicly traded. Several Tesla shareholders have filed suits claiming that the shift in resources to xAI has hurt the car maker's investors. So whether this is a true report or not, it seems like there will be more of this in the future. Speaking of X and Grok, when it comes to that advantage of being able to use tweets as training data, Elon appears to have hit a snag in Europe. Ireland's Data Protection Commissioner, or DPC, took Twitter/X to court in Ireland, the result of which is that X has agreed to stop processing EU users' data for Grok AI. Said the DPC had significant concerns that the processing of personal data contained in the public posts of XEU and EEA users for the purpose of training its AI Grok gave rise to a risk of the fundamental rights and freedoms of individuals. And these types of rules may be why we're also getting reports that AI lobbying in the US is way up this year. A couple key stats from Open Secrets. In 2023, 460 organizations spent money on federal lobbying around AI. That's 302 more than 2022, and a 7,567% increase back from 2016, when only 6 organizations were lobbying the government on AI-related issues. In the first quarter of 2024, this year, Open Secrets identified more than 90 organizations that reported lobbying on AI issues for the first time. The total so far this year appears to be 462, just a little above last year's. Of the organizations that lobbied on AI issues last year, 85 were from the electronics manufacturing and equipment industry, 46 were educational organizations, 31 were from the internet industry, and 22 came from pharmaceuticals and healthcare. In terms of some specifics, Open Secrets noted that OpenAI spent $340,000 on lobbying fees in the first quarter of this year, with Scale spending $180K in that period, and NVIDIA spending $160,000 during that time. My general feeling about lobbying tends to be don't hate the player, hate the game, and that it's no surprise to see an increase in this incredibly important area, especially now as rules remain ill-defined. Now, one thing that we are looking forward to later today, Apple is getting ready to roll out its new iPhones, with the promise that AI is right at the center of them. I'm sure that tomorrow we will have a chance to get a better sense of exactly how deeply integrated AI is and when those products are actually coming to market. And speaking of products coming to market and announcements from big tech, on September 16th, Microsoft has scheduled an announcement called Microsoft 365 Copilot Wave 2. No more information really than that, but it should be interesting to see how Microsoft positions Copilot now as opposed to when it was announced last year. For now, though, that is going to do it for today's AI Daily Brief Headlines Edition. Next up, the main episode.